one of the discussions that comes up a lot is prospecting versus networking. And I think there's a combination of both. So I'd ask you, John, in relation to that question, how annoying is it?
I found it more annoying than useful, to be honest with you.
Okay. And that's what happens. It just pisses people off. So what people have forgotten and lost the art of is this human interaction and connection. And I'll expand on this for a minute. What we've got to do as real estate people or as salespeople in general, you have two responsibilities. The first one is to give service. And the second one is to give more service. So you do that by personal interaction, not by emails, letterbox drops, knocking on doors, those sorts of things. Sometimes, well, in my day, one of the things that I learned when I was working overseas is that you want to do business over the dinner table or over the coffee table. Human interaction is the best form of networking that you'll ever do. So I think it annoys the shit out of people. I get a stack of emails. Actually, I'm embarrassed to say I've hit about 36,000 unread emails, right? So I'm now going for the record, right? But the reality of that is 3/4 of them are prospecting emails. They are annoying, right? I just don't read them. Now, the simple reality of that is that when you look at your iPhone, and at the end of the day, it tells you how long you've been on your iPhone. Sometimes it's viable because you've done emails and you've done all your work and all that sort of stuff. But I bet you that most of the stuff that people look with on their phone is not related to any business type transaction.
Entertainment and education.
Yes, that's right. Now, so if people are getting a spread of emails, they're also spending time just quickly flicking through them. Now, you might not spend more than 2 seconds on an email, but if you've got 20 emails in a day, that starts to run into half an hour. So therefore, it's just wasted time. Now, some of the emails that we get that are canvassing emails from real estate agents have very, very little content. Because if I emailed you and asked you for business, your first reaction will be piss off. That's the first reaction. You won't get a positive reaction out of that, right? So therefore, the question is, as a real estate agent, how do I get in front of of potential vendors? And that is being part of the community, being seen around, not with a cigarette in your hand, but being seen at the coffee shops. Doing those sorts of things matter. Networking is a personal thing. But prospecting should be part of networking, and that's a personal thing as well. And I said to the young man I saw this morning, there's two things that are missing with real estate people. Human contact sometimes is more than just giving a card. If I gave you a card, John, what I would do is I'd write on this is the first time I met you, I'd write on the card, say, nice to meet you, met you at Mojo Cafe at 10 o'clock on Monday the sunset, and I'd leave you with something. Now, I do that for two reasons. A, you remember where I met you, but B, I'm actually writing something down. So I'm grabbing your attention for a couple of seconds while I'm doing that. So I've got you one-on-one while I'm doing that, right? The second thing is that if you are a particular prospect to me, I would always leave the door open with the question. And the question would be, John, I know you're probably not in a hurry to sell your house, but do you mind in a month if I give you a call? They're the two things that I would do. And you might say to me, look, no, I'm not going to sell. So look, I'll ring you anyway in 2 months, if that's okay, just to say hi, just to see if things change. Is that okay, John? So that's how I would leave you. But very often people give me a card. What happens to the card? I use it for making a note on or doing whatever. But if you write on the card and give it to me, I'm more likely to keep the card. And also, out of all the hundreds of cards I get, I'll remember you. Can you tell me where the point of contact was? And that's a tip for today.